Our next guest traveled across the globe from Vietnam as a toddler and ultimately made a life and a home here in Massachusetts. My Kim Lee wrote about that journey in her new book. It's called Worlds Apart. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
So you hit on a lot of topics in this book. You talk about mental health, overcoming adversity, love, and celebrating success. There's a lot in the book. Tell us how you got it all in.
Oh, it was a challenge, but you know, if I wanted to kind of share my story, and the only way to give that unvarnished account of life is to be able to share the truth, the truthness, the rawness, and everything, even if it's risque. And I had to do it, and going in and editing it to provide this story that kind of gives this wonderful feeling.
So let's start with how you ended up here in Massachusetts from Vietnam.
Yes. Oh, wow. So Vietnam is a whole different story. Travel by boat, you know, there's action, adventure, you know, meeting Thai pirates, and then settling on the West Coast first.
Thai pirates?
Yes, Thai pirates.
Like Thailand pirates?
Yes, pirates from Thailand.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, out at sea, attacking boats and everything. It was a really a difficult struggle getting through the ocean and into just finding land and safety. But it was quite an experience. It's almost like a Jackie Chan movie where he's out there fighting pirates out, yeah, at sea, basically, yes.
So you grew up in Lawrence. How did you get to Lawrence? And you made a transition to a small private college in Maine. So continue on the journey.
So we were in California. My parents worked in garment factories, making shirts, getting 10 cents per shirt, and it was really hard. They had to make piles and piles of clothing, and that became so challenging just to survive on. And they heard about lots of mills in Massachusetts, so we decided to take that risk. There wasn't any way to kind of Google this. They just say, hey, we heard, we go, and let's see what happens. And they worked in toy factories, ended up in Lawrence where there are a lot of mills, and I settled into a beautiful community there. And then going off to college in Brunswick, Maine, that was a shock. One of the biggest and hardest experiences of my life.
What was shocking about it?
You know, coming from Lawrence, I was accepted for who I was, it didn't matter what I had, what I wore. I was just me, and I was able to be me. Going to Bowdoin, it was really hard. I was thrust into an environment that was so different. I ended up being on the peripheral of campus life.
And you felt excluded.
I felt excluded, and I think that's the hardest part for any human, being excluded from society or a group or community.
How did you fight against that experience of being excluded?
It was really hard. I don't think you can necessarily fight it. You kind of have to find ways to cope
and get around it
and navigate it.
Yeah.
And oftentimes in that moment, you don't know what you're dealing with and what it is until many years later when you reflect.
Should I assume that you were one of the only people that looked like you in that environment?
One of the few. People didn't know what to do with me. A refugee, a girl from Lawrence, speaking broken English, you know, saying dope and all that. They were like, "What is this word?" So it was hard. Yes, it was. Very few of us on campus.
You know, some of that experience that you had there and through life, you know, you're using to help others. You are inspiring another generation to help immigrants, right?
Yes. I am. One of the greatest joy in my pastime is helping Afghan refugees. Their lives are already really challenging and hard, and since August of last year, I've been running around finding gift cards, clothes, anything possible to help them make that transition easy. And one of the greatest things that happened recently was I met someone in Andover from Pfizer, and they're like, we want to help refugees. How can we do that? So we got in a call, and they're like, can you get us a pile of resumes of these refugees, and we're going to find a way to get them jobs. and they are doing that right now.
Really?
Yes.
So how many refugees have you been able to help?
Oh, I've helped in groups and individually, so it's just a handful. Whoever needs it, I try. If I have, yeah.
But it's that personal connection.
It's the
And
personal
even
connection.
if even if it's a smaller number, the point is that you've reached out to someone
Yes.
as you wanted someone to reach out to you.
Exactly. Yes.
Love is a big part of your book. One of the most surprising stories in the book is how your relationship with your husband developed.
Oh, love. It is complicated.
Yes, it is.
The story of being together with someone completely different from you, different culture, different religion, it can be a challenge, and it requires a lot of work, a lot of pain and patience. At that moment in time, I think my heart was broken way too many times, and people didn't think, they didn't understand why I was doing the thing I did. And part of it is because your heart has reasons, which reasons do not know. A French
husband's
philosopher.
Jewish?
He's Jewish, Russian,
Jewish.
Ukrainian,
Russian,
Ukrainian,
Ukrainian.
Jewish, and so completely different worlds. I'm Vietnamese, and he's from the Ukraine, formerly Soviet Union at that time. And his world, he didn't know if he wanted to make his parents happy. He didn't know what was socially acceptable. And for someone like us, we're trying to kind of figure that out.
Love finds a way, right?
Yes, it does.
So how does your family feel about you sharing all these stories?
When you share your inner self with the world, it is socially uncomfortable and culturally unacceptable. So it was very hard. But I think now they appreciate and they think you're bringing the invisible visible, and that is so important.
And helping others.
Yes.
Through telling your story.
Creating a dialogue and allowing people to kind of raise issues and talk about them. That's the only way we can solve problems.
Okay. Mai, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having
And the
me.
book is called Worlds Apart.
Worlds Apart.
Let's
yes.
pick it up and read it.
Yes.
All right, the right to vote and the power of voice. Next, the story of a young boy and how he learned the value of speaking up. That's next on Cityline.